Meron kami natikman na bagong pizza. Hindi ko sa'yo nasabi. Yung ba yung last mong review?
Yung mga pizza, yung minukbang ko. Hindi mo naman pinanood yung YouTube.
Hindi ko matapos. Ang tinapos ko lang yung chicken.
Oo. Marami ang may gusto nun.
Actually, ako yung host nyo today. So, what do you think about it?
Ako na lang yung mag-host kasi wala akong masyadong input. Kayong dalawa yung mas maraming input.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I've never seen this film and it was banned in the Philippines for a long time.
Banned ba?
Was it?
Hindi nila distribute sa widely, even at the time. Lalo ng panahon ni Cory. It was. Pero it is well-renowned at well-known sa ibang parts ng Europe, sa mga art circles.
Sabi nga ni Daang Dokyu, si Daang Dokyu kasi yung nag-ano nitong film fest na puro documentaries. Sabi nga nila, this is going to be the first time na this film is going to meet its proper audience, which is the Filipinos.
Yung subjects mismo nila.
Yeah, oo. Na parang ang dami ng mga foreigners na nakapanood itong film na to. Pero tayo na mismong we're the ones who have to see this, di pa natin mapapanood. This is going to be the first time na mapapanood natin siya. And this is the premiere din.
I didn't know that na banned siya sa Philippines.
Yeah, hindi ko alam na banned pala. Akala ko lang hindi lang na-release.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not surprising with all the expose with Cory and being lauded for being the mother of democracy, but in the end siya talaga yung brainchild nung low intensity conflict which is still being used today, di ba? Yung paggamit ng mga paramilitary and pitting tribes against tribes. Yung mga indigenous people, they're being weaponized by the military. Ang diretso pa nga and actually it goes full circle. You've seen the malagong buhok ni Bato, di ba?
Tapos ganito ulit. As in ang daming yung mga moments doon na parang as Armand and I were watching, parang inisip namin na, shucks, bakit parang yung nakikita namin dito it's happening all over again right now. Na yung sino yung reporter? Yung radio announcer. I forgot his name.
I forgot his name. Yung akala mo
yung hardcore
medyo fan siya ni Hitler.
Oo, fan Hitler na parang oh my gosh, yun ba yung version nila ng Tulfo nung mga kapanahunan?
Kasi yung mangyari Fort Trek dito sa Pilipinas.
Oo, na parang
diba, ako for one, I don't know, I haven't seen many history footage ng ganyan. Pero yung depiction ng leader ng Tadtad at ng Alsamasa is, I need lang depiction. As in yung pagka-capture nila, first time ko yung makita I just got it. Yung nakita ko lang yung mga footage ni Lino Broca regarding it. He was able to document some of them. And at the same time, yung pelikula niyang Ora Pro Nobis, diba? It was halaw doon mismo si Bembol Rocco yung nag-play. So parang hindi siya sobrang malayo, as in sobrang hindi niya na-caricaturize, kundi actually dinipict niya yung kung gaano ka-absurd yung radio announcer ng Tadtad.
Si Jun pala yung name ng radio announcer.
I don't know where he is now, but apparently talagang isa yun sa mga ginamit na parang experiment ng counterinsurgency programs across the world yung ginawa sa Philippines post.
So yung mga formations na yan, ano ba yan? Mga precursor ba yan nung kay Duterte, yung Davao Death Squad?
Hindi ko pa alam kung ano yung how they predate, how they are related, pero definitely yung advent ng mga ganyang klaseng syempre funded kasi sila. And binubusan sila ng maraming pondo, and I have references that specifically yung Alsamasa was funded by the CIA para talagang i-weaponize yung populace against this left scare na nag-root naman talaga nung panahon nung kasagsagan ng ng 70s to the 80s, diba? So, yung current na DDS, tingin ko advent siya talaga ng isang army na ginagawa at napapunded rin as na ngayon ng administration, di ba? So, it started, yung Davao Death Squad was actually their henchmen ni Duterte nung panahon nung he was still a mayor. And then, and hindi man siya mahirap isipin, pero yung cult-like at yung delusional at yung level ng grandiose at distortion ng basically putting everything upside down na concept ng freedom and democracy. I mean, it's very familiar, di ba?
True. And this also happened in Davao, di ba? Yung film natin.
True. Oh, kasabot ka kasi Bisaya ka. So,
hindi ko kailangan ng mga subtitle. Naintindihan ko yung mga naintindihan ko mga pinagsasabi nila.
Tinatanong ko nga siya yung mga words kasi hindi niya ako tinuturuan.
Diba? Actually, ang ganda nung translation rin ng mga salita and how they are able to depict yung na-humanize nila yung buhay sa kampo ng mga nasa mountains, na rebels, 'di ba? I mean, hindi siya parang exoticized, 'di ba?
Yeah.
I've heard of this na sila mismo yung panahon na yon, it's also very important to contextualize the film na sa panahon ng yun yung meron yung in-start na anti-Marcos movement was actually much more complex and complicated after Marcos kasi nagkaroon ka ng isang popular na support kay Cory, tapos meron kang middle, at the same time meron ka pang nagko-continuing struggle sa mountain. So it's also very important to put that in context kasi panahon rin yun ng mass movement na hindi nagtumigil after ng Marcos. So we have to put that in mind na marami talagang debacle sa ground. Siyempre, nagkakaroon ka ng peace talks, pero naudlot yung peace talks, na-declare, nasabi naman doon, naudlot yung peace talks kasi dahil may Minjola massacre and then Cory was basically allocating more space for the right, for the military, which is very similar siya dun sa nangyari sa peace negotiations with Duterte, di ba? Like, he put progressives in the cabinet, but eventually
tinanggal din
ginawa ng military-led na yung mga civilian agencies. So, yun nga, ang ganda ng paka-phrase lang ni Wild,
Nettie
na parang, na in exchange of the people's support, pinapalit niya yung para hindi siya ikudeta, yung si Cory, ng military. So,
natakot siya sa kudeta eh.
Diba? These are the things that they don't put in storybooks and silenced and sanitized, even sa versions na ng may usapin ng EDSA Revolution sa books natin. These silent talaga sila about these nuances.
Yeah. Hindi siya as heavily scrutinized as the main part. Diba?
Yeah. Kayo, anong nakita niyong parang
ako na ang art nung yung parang mga newspaper clippings na may mga highlighters pa na parang wow. Parang may visual effects dati kasi parang
talagang chinagaan niya, no? Parang almost Saulbao, almost Hitchcock na and yun lang yung isa sa mga parang very art na the take on it, but at the same time hindi siya nalo-lost dun sa gustong focus ng film.
Ako about it was medyo may sense of humor siya ng konti, but not to the point na parang minamock niya yung situation. May mga parang mga inserts pa na parang MTV-like na inserts.
But it predates MTV.
MTV, baka ito yung
yung standard.
Diba? Sino yung character na nakatumimo sa inyo? I mean, they're not characters, they're real people.
Sa akin yung announcer, si Jun Pala.
Yeah, siya yung pinaka-tumatakba.
Siya yung parang
Just because siya yung parang villain of the...
and then just nakaka-annoy lang yung air about him na parang nag-spew siya ng mga ism para to sound smart. Ano yung ganong type of person na parang kinokondescend niya pa yung si Wild behind the camera na parang I haven't started my terrorism yet. Like, okay.
Yeah, believe me.
Yung last scene, di ba? Nasa credits
Oo.
na, di ba? Nilagay niya.
Dun sa kanya lang ako na like nagkaroon ng physical reaction yung sarili ko. Like, it's just like that.
Miko, how do you feel about yung si Father Ed De La Torre? Yeah, kasi yung sa
Very
kanya...
articulate.
Sorry,
go. You were saying?
Yes, yung sa kanya kasi parang unique din yung perspective niya na parang I can't exactly pinpoint kung what's his position. Kasi parang sometimes he's saying na yes, armed struggle, but at the same time he's saying na parang ako personally hindi ko kaya or whatever. What's your take on him?
I like him. I really like him.
Funny siya, no?
Very ano na sa'yo?
Funny.
Funny.
And it's very articulate. As in, grabe yung kaya niya mag-back and forth sa issue without being lost in the course ng points niya. Na para sa akin mahalaga yung ganung clarity. I haven't seen people like that nowadays na kayang i-articulate yung relationship ng armed struggle and yung parliamentary struggle and how the middle class should be involved. Ang ganda rin yung articulation niya noon. And to think ang ano sa kanya, he is also reflexive at the same time. Sabi mo nga, hindi niya kaya at hindi siya tingin niya hindi niya lugar yon kasi tingin niya mas may lugar siya para ipaliwanag yung kalagayan at yung solusyon dito sa urban or sa mas accessible na means ng information dissemination. So it takes a lot of imagination para mabuo sa kanya yung ganung klaseng language ng pagpapaliwanag. So I like him. I really like him. Actually, kung you were going to ask me kung sino yung pinaka-favorite, siya ang pinaka-favorite ko dun.
Siya pinaka-favorite mo. Favorite in the sense na you like him, not necessarily favorite na siya yung character na tumatak sa'yo or kasi in Armand's case, it doesn't necessarily like Jun.
No.
Pero siya lang yung parang strong na personality dun sa ano.
Parang siya yung pinaka like caricature like na.
Yes, yeah, that's a very good way of putting him. Ano talaga siya? As in, yung announcer is he took it to a level of yung level ng absurdity na naramdaman natin ngayon sa mga rabid na spokesperson ng government.
True.
Diba? Na parang, ano nangyayari? I mean, what? I mean, so parang, I think he invented confusion or side his confusion. Diba?
And aware siya. Kasi he's
diba?
saying, this is propaganda, this is what Hitler did, this is what's effective.
Yeah. And as in, distortion talaga.
And then knowing na yun sa mga kanayunan, parang people are listening to the radio all the time. So parang, shucks, definitely factor din yung ginagawa niya na yun. Kahit na nakakairita siya, it works for him, 'di ba? Sa pag in his own brainwashing people.
It benefits the state, it benefits the status quo, 'di ba? It creates na parang meron kang semblance ng ordinary citizen na actually trying to challenge a decade-old ideology or a advocacy na speaks of principles and isms. Siya, 'di ba? Parang ang galing, parang it's also, I mean, I'm not saying he's great, but I'm saying the way he was built by kung sino man yung nag-fund sa kanya, kung sino man yung nag-build ng career niya or 'di ba? Because he knows a lot about the revolution. Kaya niyang gamiting bala 'yon. Or not really the revolution but the movement, 'di ba? So he sees through them. But to answer your question na kung ano siya, kung ano yung, kung dahil gusto ko talaga si,
Si Father.
yes, because, tingin ko siya yung nasa best position na magsalita. Kasi isa sa mga umamin ng ano niya ng biases niya. And it makes it more objective, it makes it more real for someone na nagkasalita. Kung ina-accept niya, ito yung bias, ito yung pinanggagalingan niya.
Yeah.
So, that's why doon ako pumapabor.
Lean towards kay ano.
Oo. I mean, magaling naman si Dante Buscaino, di ba? Pero he's different. He's maybe because dahil middle class yung appeal niya, pero I cannot deny na yung clarity ng vision niya. Ikaw, si Geoff?
Really affected ako by almost all of the characters, even kay Batman. Sobrang affected ako kay Batman.
Sawig ni ba to?
Ha?
Grabe din, no?
Sawig ni ba to? Pero siguro if I were to choose one, si Dante. Tama ba? Si Dante yung tumakbo na tumakbo for senator. I think senator yung congressman.
Under partito ng bayan.
Yeah, kasi parang same as Father Ed, he's also very articulate. And then he's the kind of politician siguro na if we're looking for someone na politician who is one of the masses. I mean, you can relate to him. The way he speaks is the way how we speak. Like for example, why are we so busy with the communists? What we should be busy about is kung meron ba tayo makakain, meron ba tayong masusuot na damit, meron ba tayong pera pang paaral. I mean, those are actual needs that connect with the people, di ba? And then the way that he delivers it is something na even the massa would understand din and very authentic. Sad nga lang na hindi siya nanalo, although parang alam naman natin from the start na medyo
yung part na sinasabi niya about yung communism, parang sasabi niya, ang mga komunista ba, nirape ba kayo? Ang komunista ba, nurture kayo? Di ba hindi?
Yan yung pinagkakaabalahan ninyo now. Ang pagkaabalahan ninyo ay kung ano bang ginagawa sa atin ng gobyerno. Parang ang binebenta ang lupa natin, binebenta ang mga resources natin. So parang he's diverting the attention of people back to where we should be looking at. So ayun, I also liked him din naman.
That's
How about Wild? Like from behind the camera, like
that's a very good point. He's also a reappearing character, no?
Oh, kasi alam niyo yung The Kingmaker, di ba? Yung kay Imelda. Parang that was a really, how should I say? Parang medyo intriguing naman siya sa akin, but it just feels like such a foreigner point of view na parang, alam mo yun, like we know that already. Although the details maybe not, pero I mean it's such a parang fascinated na foreigner yung perspective niya, hindi yung from us. Did you guys feel anything like that here sa film na to?
Ikaw, Joe?
Ako siguro that's what makes this film different kasi if the description of the film is they're going to take us into the revolution, I think that's what this film really did. Na parang they brought us into the revolution, and by saying na bringing us into the revolution, it's not necessarily just getting the point of view of the NPA, of the communists. It's giving us parang a broader view of why this is happening, bakit kinailangan nilang gawin to, why are they rebelling. At the same time, they gave us sneak peek of what the government is doing, what the military, the vigilantes are doing. So they're actually it's actually bringing us into the situation. Unlike siguro with the Kingmaker na, as you said, it's an outsider's perspective na parang namamangha lang siya na parang shocks, ito palang ibig sabihin ng Imeldific na parang ganito siya kaglam. More of parang ang appeal ng Kingmaker is masya-shock ka na very extravagant si Imelda. Dito, it's more of dito you're being brought into it and then helping you understand the things from an objective point of view then.
Agree. With me naman, parang I felt that na parang may foreigner, like fascinated foreigner aspect din. Pero I was thinking maybe if it was the point actually na parang like the fact that a foreigner made this, na parang it had to be a foreigner that pointed this out. Because as we've mentioned kanina, hindi siya as highly scrutinized as as other events in the movement, diba? So parang the fact na foreigner pa yung nag-point out sa atin na, hey, this what happened, hindi nyo alam, I'm bringing you inside the revolution, the so-called revolution.
Is it a factor siguro dahil we are unable to make these kinds of films on our own before because of the censorship and all that, kaya wala tayong capability. Hindi ako sure.
Actually, ano yan you were able to articulate some of the questions na hindi ko rin ma-materialize sa utak ko. Una, yung unang tanong ni
Armand,
regarding the ano ba yung role ni
Nettie
Wild, diba? So parang it's also important to put na hindi siya lumayo dun sa buong film eh. He was actively part of it. She was speaking in the background. She was narrating the whole thing. So gusto ko lang i-push yung sinabi ni Geoff na i-push pa yung sinasabi niya in comparison kay Lauren Greenfield, yung ginawa niya yung for the Kingmaker. Actually, if you want to look into the background ni Greenfield, obsession niya talaga yung mayayaman. As in, she makes films about them.
Yeah.
And then she came across Imelda, and then kaya siya fascination. Kaya ang ganda rin nung pag-discern niya sa take niya. Kasi I think it's true that he's just very much fascinated. But what she offers is not just an outsider's point of view, but in a very spectacular. She wants to tackle it in a very spectacular manner, diba? Na it may be, we may be wrong to compare them, but if we see Wild, I think nakita mo yung timeline ng ginawa niya. Well, Greenfield also took like years to do her film, but yung ginawa ni Wild is she was able to not just stitch things together, but sinubaybayan niya from the election, after, even before he was still here.
Yeah.
And then ang ganda we can move on from that. Yung isang sinasabi ni Armand regarding sa sino ba to? Si Wild, I was able to see yung kung kaya niya bang gumawa dahil nakagawa niya ng pelikula dahil foreigner siya. I think that's I want to believe na may effect pa rin naman yun na puti ka and then you're doing a film about Filipinos. So may effect yun sa access niya. Sa access niya kung sino yung kausap niya. Diba? May effect yun sa kung sino yung kung papayagan pa siya, 'di ba? May semblance ng privilege. Or may privilege talaga siya to things like that, 'di ba? Though hindi siya nanime na mag-take ng position even in the film, 'di ba? Na yun yung missing kay Lauren Greenfield kung ipo-push pa natin babalikan, 'di ba? So I think it's also a matter of asking rin na yung parameters nung paggawa ng pelikula ay ng mga foreigners na to, 'di ba? May mga times talaga na exoticize or spectacle yung nakikreate nila, pero in this very film that we just watched, I think may hustisya yung ginawa niya. And relating to your point, Geoff, regarding Dante Boscaino, kaya ang ganda ng ating ko dahil magaling na, as in very beautiful of a character or of a person, si Dante Boscaino. Ang ganda ng binigyan ng dignidad yung depiction ni Dante. Even it was unnecessary to ask him about bakit anong gusto mo mangyari pag nagsalita ka. Ayoko lang mo talaga magsalita kasi mainit. Diba? Parang very humanizing, diba?
Yes.
Parang, I mean, when you're, it means you're one, maybe you're a good interviewer. Second, you really give dignity to your subjects. And sometimes, diba, yun yung kailangan talaga natin. Ibigyan ng dignity yung mga yung mga with lesser voices and yung nire-represent yung marginalized.
Yes, pinapakita pa nga na yung way of transport niya is through jeepneys, ganyan. And then even if he's scared na merong threat, or even if he knows na, si Dante, even if he knows na the crowd that he's speaking to is ito sina Alsamasa, ganyan, nagalit sa mga supposedly galit sa mga NPA, sa mga communists. This is what he did. He still spoke to them, ganun. So even if he didn't win, at least he was able to to deliver the message of what he wanted to to
He's a
share.
really good speaker, no?
Yeah.
True. Na parang kapag hindi niya turn to speak sa stage, parang medyo awkward siya, na mahihiyain, na naiinitan sa chair. Pero once he takes the mic, no, and then takes the stage, parang he owns it, and then you know that he's passionate and he knows what he's talking about talaga. Siguro one subject that I also want to bring up is that I can't help but notice na parang all throughout the film din, very lagi natin nakikita ang Christianity, 'di ba? Or religion basically. So even with from Cory, 'di ba, we see na si Cory in-associate niya yung sarili niya with hope.
Rosary.
Have two different priests, one priest na nasa Manila and then one priest na nasa movement. And then si radio DJ ay he's justifying his what he's doing kasi sinasabi niya this is the work of God and all that.
God-centered ideology.
Oo, even si Bato, may minention ba si Bato about parang meron din yata. Na parang they're being righteous, they're appealing to this is what God wants us to do, ganyan. What may take ba kayo on that, on how sa tingin niyo ba parang intentional na peppered with religion yung film, or it just happened kasi it can't be helped? Talagang
na parang part siya ng identity talaga natin.
Oo.
What do you think?
Ako? Ba't ako? Ako nagtatanong.
The two of you.
Siguro ayan, I mean, it can't be avoided siguro in the discussion. I mean, I don't think na we were veered towards that direction na religion plays a role. Pero parang from Cory's pa nga lang, di ba? Sa simula pa nga lang ni Cory, religion naman talaga ang one of the things that helped put her into position, like sina Cardinal Sin, yung mga nuns, they had their movement sa EDSA Shrine. So ayun, yung mga imagery na mga ng religion, I think hindi siya maiiwasan kasi innate talaga siya. So siguro ang pinaka naging interesting lang sa akin na part when we're talking about religion dun sa film is yung perspective ni yung father sa movement. I forgot his name.
Si Father may sinabi kang distinct about him.
Basta si Father something na parang yes, he's religious, yes, he's a Catholic priest, pero he's not saying he's saying na just because I'm a priest doesn't mean na I can't marry it with my ideologies. Na parang just because I'm a priest doesn't mean na I can't merge it with what I am fighting for. Na parang yes, I'm a priest pero I can still hold a gun. And I will hold a gun kasi parang this is for the people. This is for the people that I have sworn to help din. Oo.
Actually, ako wala pa akong masyadong take on that, pero nakalimutan ko, pero ang pinakatumatak sa akin, hindi man tao, pero yung optics, yung mismong visual, yung may Biblia sa dahon ng saging. As in, parang wow, parang when these are just like, siya,
nag-set up pala ng mass.
okay.
Parang makeshift na mass.
Church, yeah.
They have that. Yung mantel ay dahon ng saging. Tapos, mga baril sa paligid. So, parang, grabe yun, sobrang striking para sa akin na optics na yun. Yung different, yung contrasts na sinasabi mo nga about the two priests. Diba? Pero the reality of it is...
Pwede naman tayo i-cut sa post.
Nasa Kalayaan Avenue kami. So, nasa highway. So, at least wala kami sa C5. Diba? At di kami traffic tulad sa inyo.
Hindi na rin naman kami lumalabas eh.
So, hindi mo na nalalaman. So, sabihin, when you don't see it, it doesn't exist. Poverty. Well, sorry. Before I forget, yung yung malinaw is embedded in our, not just in our culture but in our psyche and in our, even in our aspirations, yung religion, the Roman Catholic, and the concept of God, or or peace loving, for being pious. Kasi 'di ba? And I think nag-reflect yun sa not, hindi lang siya ginagamit ng mga paramilitary, but remember, he's also terror tagging the people na nasa loob ng church, yung redemptorist, yung mga nuns ng Assumptions. Wow, parang nilistahan siya, di ba? So parang, I mean, it's also, even in the church or even in the institutions like them, may struggle rin sa loob, 'di ba? Na parang they're both trying to reconcile yung reality sa labas, and they're being shaped of the movements and the struggles. And siguro kung lalalimin natin yung sinasabi ni Armand, kung bakit bakit si Cory yung ay meron talagang support from the church, because it's also the case that there is a revolutionary movement in the church at that time. Diba? May I don't know if you know, there's church, Christians for National Liberation. Na member ata tong si Father. Kaya meron talagang organizing even amongst the church. Because they don't see any, talagang most of them, yung liberation theology nila is in the concept, in the context na andito ito yung mundo. Ito yung paradise. Let's make it a paradise, 'di ba? So parang walang yung afterlife ay ito yung gagawin nating paradise. So parang as basic as that, yun yung unity nila na babaguhin natin yung kalagayan natin, yung exchange natin yung society for the betterment, because this is the promised life that we have. So parang kahit sa church, ang linaw nung may ganung until now, 'di ba? Yung bakit may social action, yung CBCP, may ganun sila. Bakit yung influence pa rin na yung ibang mga churches ay may mga sarili silang mga days for, may mga alat sila for this coming Sunday, it's gonna be Tribal Filipino Week, because these are influenced by the strong movement ng 70s na until now is going on. So, sinishape rin yung institution tulad ng church, tulad na I think it actually pailan-ilan ay nagsumusulpot doon sa film, yung ganong themes ng religion. Because definitely they have stakes in this.
Yeah. Even si 'di ba, si Tad, parang they're affiliated, or are they ba sina Holy Crusader or something? 'Di ba, parang they're essentially also a group of yun nga, mga siguro Christians. Basta there was a term, I'm not sure
holy
if it was,
something.
Oo, na parang ano ba kayo ba yung mga modern Knights Templar, mga Crusader na papatay ng mga against the religion, against the government. And also siguro nice din na still on the subject of religion, nice din yung pinoint out ni Father Ed de la Torre, na parang we should stop looking at the movement as parang light versus dark, heaven versus hell, angels versus demons. We should look at it as a human psyche, as a human struggle.
Yeah.
No, na parang hindi to monsters versus knights or something ganyan. We should, kasi if we take a look at it as parang mas human na perspective, siguro that's how we will understand each other siguro.
And that's what like the US wants, diba? As in pinoint out anong
na we fight
diba,
here.
Si Cory, diba? Tama sir, but after ni Cory, may nagsalita na taga-US, diba? So parang they're basically, yun yung isa sa mga historically correct na depiction na nagpapatunay na these are connected right through sa isang CIA funded na endeavor, diba?
So totoo pa yung kapag may fina-fund ng CIA. Kasi akala ko parang pa-issue lang yan dati ni na Duterte na funded by CIA, si Rappler.
Kasi
ganun.
ano yun parang it sounds so Hollywood-like na parang
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 conspiracy.
siyang script ng movie, parang espionage thriller yung dating.
Well, they actually did. CIA actually funded a lot of Cold War debates at literature and even movies. Diba? Kaya nga si diba, James Bond ay talaga ay very masculine goal ng mga tao. Because yun din yung debate ng panahon, di ba? Balik tayo sa context ng panahon na yun, na this is the Cold War, na trying to do that. So, may mga, may mga nag-release naman na ng sipit ngayon na yung mga funds towards films and movies sa Hollywood nun ay galing sa CIA at NSA para talaga i-embed yun sa psyche ng mga tao. So, ako kung if you want to see more about the Daang Dokyu, nag-plug, parang taga doon ako. So, ang maganda yung Bullet-Laced
Dreams. Yes, I haven't seen that yet, pero nabasa ko na. Napanood mo na?
Oo, as in, hindi lang siya. As in,
Kapanaon na ka.
pero I brought it up sa context na parang this ties up to Rustling of Leaves in a very direct manner. Hindi siya kasing elegant and art ng Rustling of Leaves. Pero ang hard hitting niya na parang nangako ako na I would never look away sa mga things like this. Pero even I'm being sinusukat yung ganong temperament, ay yung konsensya ko, yung puso ko. Anyway, that's me. Maybe I'm very fragile at that moment. Ewan mo. Diba? So, ako. And I think salamat dahil nakasama ang Unreel PH sa ganitong mga pambahay at mga pambayang mga endeavors. So, more power to you guys.
Yeah. Si Daang Dokyu, siguro before we end na lang, to share na rin, si Daang Dokyu, it's the first ever festival of Philippine documentaries. So, yung mga pinapalabas nila here sa Daang Dokyu is all of these are mga documentaries about the Philippines. So, not necessarily by Filipino filmmakers, but documentaries about the Philippines na kailangan natin panoorin. So, may mga documentaries ito na sobrang luma pa na hinalungkat pa nila from the archives and then
even news spots, diba?
Yeah,
news features.
So we appreciate din yung ganitong effort ni Daang Dokyu, si Aswang, diba?
Si Aswang, diba? Palabas nila.
And then there was one about Marcos na apparently in-air pala siya ni ABS. Tapos parang I couldn't believe that ABS-CBN aired this. Yung about Marcos.
Di ko, anong title?
Marco something. I put it in the description.
Sige. Ayun, maraming mga magaganda na films. It will run until November something.
First week of
November.
first or second week.
Hindi marunong.
Pero off the record, may tanong ako kung sakali. Ano yung possibilities na ma-rerun natin to sa ibang countries? Because of course, I know the objective is to bring back this to the Filipino audience. Pero may mga compatriots rin tayo, may mga Filipino workers abroad na we have contacts na hindi kasi nila mapanood kasi wala VPN. Kailangan mo ng VPN or kailangan mong dayakin. Hindi nila lock siya sa Philippines. So,
licensing rights siguro.
Yeah, siguro ang kailangan na dyan would be from the filmmakers and the producers themselves, not the festival. Actually, buti nga na naging online kasi supposedly ito si Daang Dokyu, pang sine talaga siya.
Nung March.
Tapos dahil nagka-pandemic, di ginawa nilang online, which is okay lang kasi at least mas maraming access.
Tingin ko ang daming na-pick yung interest talaga Lalo nung, dahil nga strong piece nila tong Rustling of Leaves, talaga, nakapag-come on siya ng iba pang mga viewers para sa iba niyang content. So, and what is your role? Your continuing role? Promotor pa ba kayo? As in, advertisers pa ba kayo nito?
Media partner lang. So ano lang, we post about it, we write about what we like, what we write also about what we don't like, and pero bottom line is to encourage people to watch the films.
Pero unbiased, it's a really strong parang like opening week for them. And then this one. Kasi part to ng opening week, 'di ba? Like about the comeuppance of the martial law and everything.
Oo nga, no, nung September nila yun. No?
Mhm. So, really strong first year for them so far. Kasi hanggang November pa to eh. Marami pang films na ilalabas.
Tsaka ang daming films eh.
Looking forward to it.
Yes.
Sige. And I actually, ang naisip ko parang, kuha tayong pelikula!
Gusto ko nga rin, documentary, oo.
I mean, ang ganda ng tanong ni Geoff kanina, hindi na siya natalakay, pero just to finish it off, kung kaya ba natin gumawa o kailangan bang foreigner? 'Di ba? Ang initial nating nasabi ay actually dahil dahil may privilege talaga at may nagagawa yung kung puti ka or foreigner ka. Pero at the same time, tingin ko it's also from the perspective of filmmakers like us pala talaga. Filipino filmmakers, para meron siyang meron siyang kayang i-offer na tingin kong hindi niya possibly hindi maintindihan fully ng isang non-Filipino. So parang one of the most powerful things are hindi man siya documentary, pero yung Barber's Tales, 'di ba? Parang yung using fiction or lies to tell the truth. Parang ganun yung nabubuo sa akin. Na parang tingin ko marami namang ganung like-minded na mga filmmakers na not necessarily parang buhusan ka ng information at ma-lost sa or maging spectacle lang siya ng isang topic or isang tema.
Joke nga kami about Barber's Tales, yung hook niya raw ay parang yung lesbianism aspect eh. Kasi diba may lesbian angle si Uge tsaka si Iza. Pero like you came for the lesbian keme or lesbian kineso, and you stay for like the
May ganun bang chismis na para siyang gay baiting or lesbian baiting?
Wala naman, it's just parang
lang.
Parang fun lang na may ganong aspect na parang ako personally I don't know if it if it called for that, pero I didn't mind it. Some people minded it. Ako parang okay.
Talaga? I mean, ako gaya mo, parang maliban sa I didn't mind it, I think it makes sense to some extent dahil sinusukat ng yung polar opposites ng masculine at yung feminine, yung fascist at yung alternative na struggle. So parang ganun yung nakita kong ambiguity na kine-create doon. And then parang if they can never be happy kasi nga hindi mo nila consummate, kasi pakamatay na si spoiler. Yeah, no. So parang kahit
hindi niya napanood.
May iba pa akong pops kay Lana. Pero yung vision niya sa Barber's Tales, para sa akin, yun yung parang hindi siya matatawaran dahil hindi siya, sorry to put it, hindi siya parang Joel Lamangan School of Acting or Joel Lamangan School of Editing. But this is off the record,
Ay, akala ko kasali to. Ang saya pa naman.
Okay lang.
So, ayun, kaya tingin ko hindi yun, hindi siya parang out of place or bastardized yung paggamit ng lesbian undertones doon. Kasi nakita ko siya as a way ng pag-take ng theme as a means para maging sa kanila, maging ma-extract mo yung differences nung nangyayari kay Eugene doon. So you have to watch it.
Oo nga, ang tagal lang nasa pipeline ko.
Di ba meron na sa Netflix? Aren't all June Lana's films sa Netflix?
Wala sila sa Netflix.
So, nagawa ko ng video essay on Philippine horror.
Wow! Yun yung mga dapat may nagpapakabiyasa talaga sa mga genres. So parang
wala eh.
Kasi parang parang lagi na lang akong pag social realism. Not that walang social realism sa sa horror. So, ayun, send yung mga ano nyo, mga sinusulat nyo. Subscribe ba ako? Baka, okay. So yun, it took a film para magkita-kita tayo ng ganito.
Kapag hindi na ako praning, saka tayo magkita-kita.
Mga next year.
Magpadala ka na lang ng mga niluluto mo. Ito pa pala, sorry, dagdag topic. Ano ng future ng physical cinema? Diba?
May outdoor cinema na si SM, pero parang tsaka pa.
Yeah. Oh my God, let's try that. Okay, wala nga lang car si Andre, pero pag mag-grab tayo para lang manood siya.
Bubuk natin siya ng 2 oras.
Sabi ng friends ko, marami rin kasing distractions eh. So parang hindi ka rin nakasin.
Kasi normally yung mga outdoor cinema, mga
Sabi
secluded.
di ba sabi naman nila ni Guy Debord, yung ginagawa ng cinema, kine-create ka na para kang pumabalik sa womb mo. Kasi may may darkness.
Oh, yeah. May gano'n.
Sinusure ka niya. Kine-create siya na parang part siya ng memory mo na pinapanood mo lang. So,
Who said this? Truffaut?
Ha?
Who said this?
Guy Debord.
Okay.
Guy Debord. So, siya rin nagsulat ng spectacle. Congrats. May kailangan ba akong fan sa Go Unreel?
Thank you.
Salamat.
Uy, may podcast kami ha.
May podcast pala sila. Gawin mo na lang itong podcast kayo sa video.
Oo, pwede.
Pwede rin.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you, Miko. Sa ulitin. Bye-bye.